Alright, so looks like I messed up. I'm good at this because I hit my rotation up. So I have hotkeys. Like when I'm starting the stream, I hit like these three hotkeys, and it turns on my cam, turns on my voice, turns on the speakers, or turns on my mic, turns on the speakers. I hit them all, but apparently they didn't actually hit them correctly. So that was my mistake. All right, so then ReGen Red ends up answering with the Stukov Kelthos. That gives a lot of a lot of CC follow up to the Diablo. You have chain bombs for Tracer, which actually keeps her at bay pretty well. You're either forcing her to now is it too loud? But you're either forcing her to have to recall because of the chain bomb on her, because it does do a good portion of her health, or she kind of stays in there, takes the damage, and then keeps going for it. There's also 2 stuns. You're also playing Tracer into a Diablo point-and-click stun. You're picking Kael'thas that has a follow-up stun. You have Silence and... Okay, and then really good choice for Durotan's Couch. I'm actually surprised they banned out the Malthael, knowing that it's really a good pick against the Diablo, and they did have the next 2 picks. ReGen deciding to ban out the Garrosh. They already have their Diablo. Garrosh is probably, in my opinion, one of the best tanks right now. Just because of the amount of control he gets, even if you don't really get the full flip combo, which is obviously always great. But once he finishes quest at Q, if he takes that, it's like a 6-second cooldown. It's ridiculous. It's a lot of stun. And then he gets at 13 with a shield. He actually gets a lot of sustain with a lot of disruption. I honestly personally think Garrosh is probably one of the best tanks right now. So what what Durotan's Couch is probably going to be looking for right now is their main tank picking up against Joanna, not picking up against the Diablo Kael'thas. They can go Joanna, but I don't think it's going to provide enough. ETC is usually a pretty good is a pretty good option for Diablo. Honestly, I would like to pick the Muradin, is my best bet. They do go pick up the Joanna. It's just basically somebody that's going to be in their face. You don't have to really worry about the Joanna. She's just going to be I'm going to run at you, put up my trait. You're not going to be able to CC me, and I'm just going to disrupt you as much as possible. Allow Tracer to do what she needs to do. Allow Sonya to do what she needs to do. And just to basically be strictly a straight front line. So, ReGen Red already has a very solid combo potential between just those 3 heroes. They're going to pick up somebody that can probably double soak, so that way allows those 3 to roam as much as possible. Probably the Blaze. Blaze is very good against the Tracer Bomb with the Bunker, pretty good against the Malfurion, and it's also very good at Diablo can stun against the Bunker, which is sick. Bunker is so wide in these little choke points of the Infernal Shrines that if Blaze charges in, runs into one of the chokes, puts down Bunker, they actually can't run away, and then you have Kael'thas AoE. I would really like to see the Blaze here. That gives them lane control between Blaze. They can sit out at the... Yeah, okay, perfect. And Graham is just going to be another solid follow-up. He can jump onto the Tracer whenever he needs to. He can provide, that burst potential that they would really want to get that execution kills. So I think that's a great comp for ReGen Red. So basically, how does Durotan answer this? It's a very solid rotation. They got Malfurion for heals. They got Malfurion can provide some a pseudo cleanse. I mean, it does cleanse stuns and slows and all that stuff, but you have to hit it right when they're doing it. They have frontline. They have the Shrine Babysitter. They have their kind of the burst. They're probably gonna be looking for another backline. I don't want to see Hanzo here, I don't think. Do they need the mage? I don't know if they need a mage. Maybe Gul'dan? Who's a really good counter for Tychus? Actually, Tychus. I would like Tychus here. That'd be my pick. Okay, they do go with the Hanzo. Hanzo is, again, another one that gives a lot of AoE into the the Hanzo gets a lot of AoE into the shrines. Allows for, you know, if he goes W build, you can just throw that in there and pretty much like one-shots the monster. So it gives you a lot of shrine control. And I mean, Hanzo's got that range, so it's going to help out a lot. But this is going to be game number 1 going to Infernal Shrines with Durotan's Couch versus ReGen Red. This is a Division C match. I don't know if it's East or West. I imagine it's East since they are playing so early. Or early to me because I'm also East Coast. I like it. We already have Portrait Synergy going on both sides. So, I mean, from both comps, like, I really like ReGen Red's solo kill ability. The Kael'thas stun, the Diablo stun, Blaze stun, Stukov silence. It's a lot of crowd control to really type up. I mean, Sonya's honestly going to have a real tough time. And Tracer honestly is going to have a tough time. Point and click stuns on Tracer is ideal. Joanna is going to try to disrupt as much as possible. But, I mean, if ReGen Red can really combo their stuns correctly, I think they should have an easy game here. Although if they get all the disruption from the Joanna and the Tracer, if they really fall apart to that chaos, then it can fall apart pretty quickly. I think it's tough. I mean, I like ReGen Red's comp more, but I can definitely see the merit in Durotan's Couch. They just provide so much. They do have pretty good sustain. They have a lot of disruption. They have a lot of, you know, just people coming in from all sides. Tracer's blinking into the back line. Sonya's sitting on the shrines, and they're trying to force it. So I think it's going to come down to the early game rotations and the early game ganks. So starting off the game, we got Durotan's Couch on the blue. We got Sir Noble on the Hanzo, Soln on the Malfurion, Big Egg Roll on the Joanna, Afish on the Tracer, and Captain Wedge on the Sonya. On the right-hand side, we got ReGen Red. We got Cordana on the Greymane, Frost Absol on the Stukov, Cathazia on the KT, Giraffe Punch on the Diablo, and GMC Thornbody on the Blaze.
2, 1. Let the battle begin.
Oh, wrong button. There you go. Everybody give us the GGs for honor. So let's see if we're going to see any type of, like, really the early game fights. We've got a little bit. There's a lot more range, I think, on the side of Durotan's Couch. It's harder for Kael'thas to really throw the range in because it puts him pretty much in position. He kind of wants to get the chain bombs on people to try to get them to spread the chain bombs. Remember, Diablo is really weak in the early game until he gets his souls up. Yeah, see how much poke he's taking. He actually can die here. He is going to die. He kind of, unfortunately for the early game Diablo, is you can't really just walk up to people. You kind of have to wait patiently until they kind of walk into this wall or to this wall, and you try to get a slam and then a flip. If you're just walking into them, especially with no souls, you're just basically just taking free damage. Looking at the quick talents, we are going to get a Q build Hanzo, so he's going to look to see rotations out to Blaze or just wait until he gets normal Blaze hits during a normal team fight. We got normal regrowth abilities. We're actually going Q build with Greymane, and trying to get those Q stacks on the point. It's probably pretty good. It gives him a lot of wave clear on the actual shrine, and that way he can kind of shoot it from afar and hopefully get some hits. We are seeing that rotation coming back and forth. Teams are trying to go back. No, Skigums, I probably am not casting your game tonight because it's too late. Because you guys like to stay up late because you're West Coast for some reason. Checking out the solo lane a little bit. Sonya should beat the Sonya lane. Solo lane. It is a Sonya lane. Just because she can just focus Blaze. Like, you actually don't even have to worry about wave clear. If she just auto attacks Blaze a lot, she can just whittle him down. I'm actually surprised we see the Iron Skin from the Joanna. There is a lot of shields, so she's expecting just to be right in the front. Diablo got a good slam on the Hanzo, but unfortunately the rest of the team was not on the same page. That would have been an easy kill if he had any type of follow-up there. So hopefully they get that figured out the rest of the game. No rotations to any type of camps yet. Teams are both, just as I say it, like they're right on point. Right when I say it, Durotan's Couch decides to go into it. I'd like to see Greymane be doing this camp solo and leaving these three to clear and try to get picks, because Greymane is actually one of the best camp people, one of the best heroes to do camps with. I mean, that's one of the things about Kael'thas versus Tracer versus Kael'thas, is that you just saw that one chain bomb and Tracer wanted to use her E right away, and she was in no threat. Like, if you allow her, if she does that all the time, her E is her escape. That means she can't go in anymore. So if they can keep baiting that out, that's actually going to be a very huge win for them. First shrine is spawning up right now. So this is going to be the make or break. This is really much going to determine, hopefully, how the rest of this team's team fighting ability go on. Diablo charging into the minion, probably a little bit of a misclick. You wanted to hit that Tracer. Durotan's Couch got the first rotation, and they're actually going to leave this Merc camp to do a little bit of damage to the wall. Everybody's in this choke right now, which is better for ReGen. Diablo's kind of just walking in, got a good flip, almost couldn't get the wall, trying to dive from the Tracer. But again, he kind of was just standing there taking all this auto attack damage, which is not the best for him, and allowing Sonya and Joanna is just going to walk through the team, getting the pick on Kael'thas as well. Luckily, he did not go any type of, Q stack build, which is better for this map anyways. And that's just going to net Durotan's Couch an easy first Punisher. Granted, it is just the first Punisher. It's pretty weak, and it almost can be countered by just split soaking, which the Blaze is doing, the Greymane is doing. And getting that free experience, ooh, I like it. They're holding off that first Punisher to get these Mercs going. This is going to put more pressure on the map, and it's actually going to... This is so smart. Even though it's just a first Punisher, like, a lot of teams will just go right for it, but this was such a good call, especially since the Punisher is mid and it's going to be dragged to mid. This forces the Merc camp to be dealt with up top, which means there's going to be one less person defending this Punisher when it actually starts. I'm actually surprised they haven't started it yet. Are they going to be greedy and try to go for a second one? I mean, it's not... I say greedy, I mean, it's only greedy in the sense that they could open themselves up for a pick. Like, if one of their teammates die, it does negate a lot of the effectiveness of the Punisher. But they ended up being able to get enough down. Sonya's soaking bottom. They have Mercs pushing top with Blazes dealing with. They were not able to get it to jump over across the wall, so it means it's going to get a lot more value for... They don't have this extra keep shooting the Punisher. Diablo's probably looking for a flip over the wall. The wall's not down yet. There's a lot of damage going out. All 5 members from Durotan's Couch here, they're looking for another kill. Diablo's getting pretty low. That Hanzo damage, that 7.5 range poke. But first Punisher netting 1 fort is the best you can ask for, honestly, for the very first Punisher. And it's actually still going, just going to beat on Diablo for a little bit. So right now, I believe ReGen Red probably wants to be a little aggressive. They need to be using their combo. Almost want to force Blaze to double soak the 2 lanes, especially with his level 7 talent that he didn't go. But if you do go with the level 7 talent that allows you to do a lot more damage to minions and mercenaries, allows him to double soak quite effectively, and they could actually be running around as a 4-stack and just allow Blaze to double soak. And this would probably allow them to force into the camps. But they're just gonna leave Sonya taking camps. A little bit of assistance from Hanzo. We actually trace her in the lane by herself, but she's pretty hard to kill unless you really get a point and click stun. Yep. There's almost level 10s for Durotan. They either are going to want to fight, they're either going to try to pick a fight here to try to even up on the experience, or they're just going to give them level 10s and then play passive. But almost level 10. There's a sliver away. Let's see how fast they pick up all the level 7s. Nobody's picked it up yet. Mafurian did pick up. All right, we got Twilight Dream. We got Berserker Rage, Quantum Spike to do that extra damage, which I think is the new hotness now for Tracer. Dragon's Arrow, and of course Blessed Shield. So this is going to force ReGen to kind of just be passive for a while. Let Durotan do what they need to, unless they have a lot of vision on them. Blaze is doing what he can to try to double soak now. Uh-oh. Trying to fight in level 10. There's all 5 members. Dragon Arrows coming out, hitting 3 of them. Immediately, Kael'thas dies. And followed up by the Stukov. Not the engagement that ReGen wanted into that one little choke point. A good invade by Durotan. Knowing that they have 10s. Knowing that, hey, we can force this. Especially with that engagement with the Sonya right onto Kael'thas and the Dragon Arrows. I mean, he just got deleted. We're going to want to see ReGen. So greedy. They're going for the keep. They just hit level 10 for ReGen. They're going to want to pick up their talents right away. Nice chain bombs. Good spread by Durotans to make sure that they didn't spread the chain bombs. We are getting bunker. We got Phoenix to get that control zone control. APOC from the Diablo. Greymane hasn't picked his yet. He doesn't know if he wants to go for the throat or Curse Bullet. I imagine they probably want to go for the throat. It's just one of those execution points. Once you get the Kael'thas gets him low, the Diablo charges into him. I would like to see go for the throat, especially on the Tracer. I mean, Tracer's got a low enough health pool that you'll be able to proc it pretty easily. Yeah, there it is. Look at the damage real quick while we're waiting for the shrine to spawn. We got Hanzo's doing top damage overall. Kael'thas is not too far behind, but it's okay. Pretty low damage so far early game. Only 8 minutes in. But so far, Durotan's got the opening. Diablo just barely missed that Diablo. Misclicked a minion. And then we're going to get the counter engage from right onto the Kael'thas. Again, with the Dragon's Arrow and the Sonya jumping onto that Kael'thas with Tracer. And he's just not able to live anything. Tranquility goes out, but Diablo's able to go into the bunker to kind of save himself a little bit. I mean, it's just that quick of an engage from Durotan, and just Kael'thas was not able to do anything. I think they were looking for the follow-up with the Diablo, which was the right idea. Unfortunately, he missed, but that's about all they can do. So, once again, going to net another Punisher to Durotan. I would imagine they're probably going to do the same thing. They're going to hold it at 38, 39, allow them to take off the mercs, and just control the map. They're really understanding. Quantum Spike was always the hotness. I thought the other one, the pulse grenades that gives you it up like all the time, was the hotness. Yep. So smartly, Durotan's couch is using them as much as they can to milk the Punisher time, knowing that they can take full control of the map, get all the lane soak that they can, knowing that only need one more monster to get this Punisher. They've already taken the wall out here, so any jump by the Punisher will be able to have infinite follow-up between the Sonya, if she ends up coming down here, and the Hanzo. And let's see how much value they're gonna be able to get out of this Punisher. So we're gonna want to see Diablo to try to bait it, and they're gonna immediately want to just run this Punisher to the other fort, to the keep. Do one more Diablo. There it goes. Now they're gonna run away as fast as possible, allowing the Johanna to kind of chase into him. Unfortunately, they weren't able to bait it too far, but I think this is about all they can do. I think they have to give this. Blaze is going to deal with 2 lanes of mercs on the opposite lanes. Still got a pretty healthy Punisher. It's like 3/4 HP, give or take, maybe 2/3. Another jump, this time over the wall, so that's a little better. So they want to bring it back a little bit. Durotan's trying to break this wall as fast as possible so they can jump in there. A 3-man route from the Punisher on that frozen stuff. And there again, jumping right onto Stukov. Tracer's getting in there. Swiping is going to save it a little bit, but ends up getting the Tracer bomb right onto Stukov right when he's doing the flailing swipe, and ends up going down along with Diablo. Diablo just has not been able to get a break. I don't think he's actually been able to have 100 souls yet. He's only at 98 right now. Granted, that still makes him very tanky. Oh, if he gets a spear, there's one spear. Look at that damage. The damage was ridiculous. Well, especially with the Hanzo, they're actually going to look to end right here. 3-man dead. I mean, Kael'thas is one of their main damage dealers. He's not in the fight for another 20 seconds. Sonya is really good on the core. Not good stun. Let's see if the Greymane does come in for the go for the throat. Gets silenced by the Malfurion and the counter kill on the Greymane. Granted, that counter kill on Sonya, is enough to scare them away. Blaze is still looking for it though. Hanzo's got the jump. Natural agility, Overwatch heroes, by the way. And they're just going to end up walking away from it. Diablo finally getting his souls, so now he can rejoin the fight after his next death. Hopefully they don't die again, because, you know, that's not going to spell good for them. But just in case, it does make it a little easier. Looking at the damage now, Hanzo is still well ahead of everybody else. That 7.5 range makes it pretty easy. And in between Punisher phases, Durotan's couch is going to end up just doing the PvE game, taking the mercs. They could have pushed up here, since they had 16s on them. They were people that were still rezzing, but they probably just didn't want to fight the 4v4, just to not risk it, just play safe. Sonya was just rezzing and just now got back to lane. I'd imagine they're going to be looking for some picks here with their 16 advantage. Get rid of that button. So they're seeing some push, waiting for somebody to step out. ReGen playing smart, being passive. You know, if you don't control the lane, you need to be where your minions are matching up. You do not really want to be past this little circle, this wall anymore, because that just, unless you really know where they are. I'm surprised we didn't see Diablo flip on the Sonya over that wall. Trying to scare him out, making sure that nobody really pushes in too far. So, essentially, Durotan's couch is just trying to wait it out, wait for the next Punisher, wait for the next opportunity for them to really get a good strike. And ReGen, unfortunately, they're just trying to catch up on the experience. They just saw them take the camp, so they know they have some free reign to walk around. Diablo's doing a little bit of scouting. Unfortunately, it's not the top shrine. The top shrine is the best option for ReGen, only because it has to go through 2 forts to get to the core. RNG just forced it back into the bot, forced it in the mid lane, which only has a keep left and weak walls. Not the best spot for ReGen, but let's see. Again, they just have to get one good combo. If they can get one pick, it can lead to 2. Greymane picking up his Q quest is going to help some poke damage. Diablo's looking for that flip. At least now, like, the ReGen globes are just going to keep Diablo super alive now, but the 4v5, Sonya's on the shrine doing her little babysitting, and the 4 members of Durotan are just going to poke here. The long range Hanzo. They're playing too scared. I think they know somebody is on the shrines. They know the minions are being taken. I feel like they just want to go for it. A 4v5 is still winnable if you're, you know, even if you're down talents. A little bit in disengage. Diablo, I mean, I know he was looking for somebody. I think he just did not have vision. He didn't have any walls available. But, yeah, well, maybe if they were 16, he definitely would have gone for it, because then he would have had the, you know, charge, flip, overpower charge, and it would have been easy. But they just give another free Punisher. This is not going to look good for them, pushing into this keep that has no walls now. Once again, Durotan playing it easy. You say, hey, we have this in the bag. We don't have to worry about it. They're going to get 16 no matter what we do, so we don't have to rush it. And we're just going to put pressure as well. Just in case this Punisher does not win the game, we're going to make sure that we are still going to be in the lead by a good portion. Oh, ReGen Red seeing everybody on the top lane. Going to go ahead and pick up their merch just because it's something to do. They did just hit level 16. Blaze, unfortunately, this is one of the things why Grayling Kill probably wasn't the best choice, just because they have just not been in the team fight as much. He's been forced to soak, which allows the level 7 Incinerator Gauntlets to get so much more value. I mean, they're just taking all the time that they want. I'm actually surprised they didn't just go ahead and go here and take these mercs just to have those pushing. I mean, they were feeling no pressure. There was like no reason not to take those mercs just because they weren't getting forced at all. This is gonna be spelling tough. They're gonna try. We see some pings. They're trying to say that, hey, we need to bring him up to this keep. We need to bring him up to the top and not die right away. Oh, got interrupted. No bunker available because of the stun locks, but he got interrupted with the charge. With that Sonya follow-up, with the 3-man kill so far, and I don't think there's anything ReGen can possibly do to save this one now. That interrupt with the spear on Sonya was so good. Immediately knowing that Blaze, I mean, granted, the wind-up time for Blaze is a long time, so it's very easy to, it's pretty easy to see it coming, and they just capitalized on it. We're not able to get the flame swipes in time, but good job for Durotan's couch. They completely dominated that game. Oh, wait. Right thing. Yeah, I mean, that was a complete domination by Durotan's couch. Let me update this stuff. Let's get the other game underway. Let's see. So the next one's going to be Dragonshire. Picked by ReGen Red. Right, our captains. Absol, invite to game. All right. So ReGen Red's going to be looking for the redemption game. This is their map pick, so they probably have an idea of what they want to do on the map. Hopefully control that 4-man. And then, I mean, Dragonshire is always one of those maps where it's so dependent on, yeah, like your rotations. Like if you do well against, you know, almost like a cat and mouse game of controlling the 2 shrines, the 2 beacons, I guess. Like if you're losing the bot lane, you want to really like rotate somebody top to secure the top one in the 2v1. If you're losing the top one, you want to hopefully you're not losing the 4-man if you're already losing the top one, and just try to push pressure elsewhere. If you are losing both of them, you have to have at least a couple people in the middle to try to interrupt as much as possible. Usually a dragon is not taken unless people are dead on either team. I think I invited one per. Okay. Yeah, but it's always interesting to see Dragonshire and how people rotate. Like the rotations on this is so critical. Especially a lot of times you don't really want to go full on about how on the first dragon you delay as much as possible. If you're losing top, you control bottom, you poke in mid, you take giants to put more pressure on bottom, so that way you can win bottom. And then vice versa. But then when it gets to the late game, if you have people that might have been killed and then you're trying to get the dragon and then you're doing this whole run around to the top and bottom and really trying to make them chase you, I think that's when it gets the most fun. Haircut is on point. Thanks. All right, got everybody in the lobby. Let's see if everybody's good to go. Magics. You guys let me know if this sounds good. I've constantly have issues with the mic volume and like how I sound, because I want to look this way, but then my mouth is, you know, facing the wrong direction of the mic. And I feel like I can always tell when I'm re-listening it to it. It's a big noticeable. I just don't know the best way to make it work. All right, so we got ReGen ready. We got Durotan's ready. All right, let's go. Take it to game number 2. Did a little early. Oh well, you get to see all this stuff. Game number 2 of Durotan's Couch versus ReGen Red. Oh my gosh, guys, I forgot to hit record, so I'm not gonna be able to put this on. I'm gonna have to do a lot of editing to put it on YouTube. Feels bad, man. Anyways, game number 2, Dragonshire, picked by ReGen Red, which means we got first pick going to Durotan's Couch. I would imagine we're probably going to see the same bands. We're probably going to see the Phoenix, Maiev. We're probably going to see Garrosh, and you know, it's kind of that meta right now. When you got 4 top people, you kind of pick which one you want. Which of the 4 do you want to see? All right, so we're getting the Garrosh ban. They don't want to deal with that. I believe ReGen banned Garrosh last game on the second ban, so both teams don't want to play against him. I'm assuming that means both teams have a Garrosh player that's proficient enough. I imagine we see the Phoenix ban here, unless they've done some research and they see that nobody on Durotan's Couch plays Phoenix. And there it is. It's a pretty easy decisions on who gets banned now. But now there's the Maiev available. There's still Hanzo, Stukov, Malfurion. Kind of depends on what they want to do. They are first pick, so they are gonna go with the Maiev. It still does leave options for Tracer, Malfurion on the second 2 if they want to do that again. But we get to see Maiev. I mean, Maiev can still be. I mean, I know she's been nerfed a bunch, but just her disruption is just so noticeable. You should see the Doggos. Doggo's amazing. It is. It's pretty amazing. See people in the background. Yeah, that was my roommate. She was fixing herself dinner, I think. All right, going with the Stukov Hanzo. So they are, I mean, now they get the Hanzo. There was Durotan's catch that had the Hanzo last game. Again, really good for poke, really good for the Ws, for the getting the quick mercs. Stukov getting some, if you get silences on the actual shrine, it creates a little focal point where people makes it harder for them to escape. So what is Durotan's going to answer with? They have options for a tank. I would imagine they're picking their healer here. I would imagine some Malfurion. It really depends on what range or what tank they might prioritize. There's no tanks picked right now except for the Garrosh band. Honestly, unless they're going for a strict combo, there's probably not a reason to pick a tank here. I would imagine it should be their solo laner and their healer. They have Maiev. Sonya's still good. Maiev is obviously not a solo laner. Oh, they do pick up the tank. They do like their Joanna. Maybe it's a comfort pick. They want the rotation rotation control. So they did pick up Malfurion. And Joanna's just a solid. She's just a solid all around hero. She's not really too weak. She's not really too strong, but she just provides that. I'm a frontliner. I'm going to do frontline things. So second ban, where they see a healer coming out of Durotan's already. They don't have to ban a healer. They don't have to ban a tank. Do they want to ban the Tracer? They did go against the Tracer last game. They are already pretty squishy with the Hanzo and the Stukov. They ban out the Sonya, getting rid of this solo laner and that threat. I mean, Sonya did work last game with the lane control, with the jumping onto the Kael'thas, getting those spears. Are picks in order? Yes. Oh no, I mean technically the team themselves can pick in any order. They just show up on the little, what do you want to call it, hexagons. In order. So Durotan's showing to ban the Blaze. 2 solo laners, both banned. No solo laners picked for either team, which means I think since ReGen has that last slot pick, they probably do not want to pick the solo lane here on this rotation. That way they can pick the exact counter they need to pick whatever solo laner that they pick. That Durotan's couch picks. So I would like to see the tank and their other flex hero, whether it be the range, whether it be the melee. Honestly, I can't think of too many counters for Maiev at the moment. I think it's usually mages, if I remember correctly. They're going to go with the Greyman, gives good merc control, but they do pick their solo laner. They are going to pick their Dahaka. That does open them up to some counters if they want to counter. I mean, Dahaka can be countered pretty easily. ReGen does give a global now. They do get a global, which is very powerful on Dragonshire. It, again, goes back to that point I was making before, where you get that cat and mouse type game of chasing between, oh, I got top, I got bottom, I got top, I got bottom. But now you have the possibility that if you have 4 men on top and Dahaka's there, Dahaka can now burrow bottom, and then you can sneak somebody in the middle. It's possible. So, Durotan, what does Durotan range damage do that they want to take? Tracer, again, is still available. They have wave clear with Joanna. Wave clear with Maiev, honestly. She still does good wave clear. And they have disruption with Joanna, Maiev, and Roots. Do they pick up the Tracer again? Do they go for the Mage? Yeah. So they go. They do go with the Mage. And more wave clear and a burst mage at that. To go against the Stukov does make it harder for Stukov to really get, because his heals his big heals about every 16 seconds or something like that. And then the mouth heals. So the mouth heal is going to be the direct counter to Dahaka. Basically a direct counter to Dahaka. And Dahaka's going to have a tough time up there. So I would expect ReGen is now going to be thinking about rotations. They're looking for their main tank player. Against the Joanna, against the Maiev, against the Malfurion, against Malthael. I kind of like a new Barak. They have a Dahaka that can get a stun. You have web wrap on Malthael or Maiev, honestly. If you see Maiev come in with like the big jump in and then trying to hit that tether, web wrapper, run to the rest of the team, and then most that she can do is she comes out of web wrap and she wardens cage. But hopefully you've done enough damage past that. But after that, I think it's probably going to be Muradin. They go with Diablo again. They don't have as much follow-up this time with Diablo as they did last time, so hopefully they can still make it. They can make it work better than they did last game. A lot of times it was harder. I did notice that it was hard for Diablo to really feel like he could get in there and do something about it. But, you know, hopefully they can get a lot more value. Again, they have to wait for Diablo to get stacked. They have to... I mean, they picked Diablo into Malthael. It feels really bad, man. Diablo's going to have a tough time. It's kind of a real tough time. Diablo getting tethered. Diablo against the Joanna. I don't like it. Hopefully they can make it do well. But so game number 2, I mean, Durotan pretty much dominated the first round on the first round on Infernal Shrines. I like their comp more. I like the comp of ReGen on Infernal Shrines, but now I like the comp of Durotan's Couch on this map just because they have pretty much the counters to the other team already. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. So we're gonna be watching the top lane a little bit, or we're gonna try to poke up there every once in a while to look at the Dahaka Malthael and see if they are doing well. We're gonna be really look at the mini map to see rotations up to the Malthael. Their regen's gonna be want to look for the Greymane to rotate up to the Malthael and get a kill. All right, so let's go into game number 2. We got Big Egg Roll on the Joanna, Afish on the Maiev, Suln on the Malfurion, Captain Wedge on the Malthael, Sir Noble on the Jaina. On the right hand side, we got Regen Red. We got GM Thornbody on the Dahaka, Kathazia on the Greymane, Frost Adol on the Stukov, Cordana on... Wait, are these the same people? Cordana on the Hanzo, and Giraffe Punch on the Diablo. Neither team looks like Diablo's might. They're trying to look for a little bit of a sneaky play, not expecting... Trying to get that first vision. First tether goes off. Gonna pull into the Diablo, actually out of all the roots, but he charges back into the roots, and that's gonna be the first death on Diablo. And Malthael is just in there getting all the dots on the team. Stukov is actually still in there saying, "Hey guys, we can still kill this." You know, there's no essence on Dahaka. Swap round. What is that? What does a swap round mean? So we see the Malthael on top. Dahaka ends up, he Hearth and then just burrow top, so that way he can just come in there with full health. And wait as the teams wait for their people to respawn. You know, they're just going to play a little bit passive. They don't want to be tethered by that Maiev. There's just so much wave clears.
The ancient shrines.
Oh yes. Oh, that's yeah. So basically, after the actual on a tournament mode, or basically in any tournament mode, there's like 15 or 30 seconds or so that heroes, if they need to swap who's playing what, they can do that. It's very nice for any type of tournament setting, so that way you don't have to, people don't have to pick exactly what they're going to play. Anybody can pick any hero, and then you can just swap later. Captain Wedge already sitting in position for that beacon. I like it actually, because he knows that Dahaka, he beats Dahaka on the point. So like, there's nothing Dahaka can do here. So the most Dahaka can do is probably just push out the lane. This Greymane is gone for this world. Could not do anything about that. He was probably a little too far up, thinking that maybe they're all going to fight bottom and he could just clear this wave real quick and then rotate bottom. But with this Merc pickup, that's what I was talking about before at the very start. Nice stun for the Diablo that time. Oh, a big root though. Followed up with the Jaina. A little bit of slows. But the silence from Stukov scares them off. Ooh, look at this. They are so confident. They already have Maiev in position to take this dragon right away. Like, there's no question about it. Didn't rotate at all. They're like, no, we got this easy. Just like Dirty Santa. Yes, actually it is. It is exactly like that. So first dragon already going on the, immediately taken first 30 seconds of the shrines to Durotan's Couch, and we already see a level lead, unfortunately. And there's gonna be some split soaking a little bit. Dragon got one tower, did some damage to the other. Now they're gonna push into this. Diablo, I don't really know why he walked out there. I think he was trying to look for a flipped into the gate. Unfortunately, was not able to follow up with anything about there. And to kind of just, like, Malfurion smartly rooted the exit point, and Diablo kind of just got stuck on a spot where he did not want to be. Being passive, not passive with the dragon, but being smart with the dragon, waiting for the minion wave to come in. A nice kick onto. Did you see that the Stukov heal follow him all the way over there? That was kind of cool. So once again, first objective for Durotan's Couch, first fort. Same thing that happened in Infernal Shrines. We're actually going to see Cocktail a build again from the Greymane. Looking at the other bounce, die alone from Malthael basically makes sure that he wins the game nonstop. We actually see Fear the Reaper so that way, I guess he was making sure that if he does get charged and flipped by the Diablo, he'll be able to just walk through everybody. A lot of times with the Malthael, especially on a map where you're most likely going to be rotating a bunch, is you want to take the mounted one. I forget what it's called. Which allows him, he basically insta gets between two lanes. So full 2-level lead for Durotan Couch right now. Greymane this time says, I do not want to be in the middle of the lane. But just in case I get ganked. They did see that Merc get taken. So they know there's at least 4 people bottom. I don't know, right now they're just, ReGen Res is playing really passive. They're not really doing anything to try to gain advantage. Well, I mean, they really can't do anything to gain advantages. They don't even have their level 7s yet. They're going to take the Merc camps to try to put some pressure onto the Malthael. And look at this Malthael, like this 4-man here. They're just able to do whatever they want because Malthael's just going to clear the lane. Nice, like, blind root on the Stukov. Kind of just put it right in the middle. Did he go? Okay, he did not go vicious. So we're looking for the 5-man here. It is same talent tiers. They do not have Malthael. This could be the fight that they want. One tether. The AoE is in there. Not Stukov does not have in the right spot to reposition. They're just not able to chase. Is just can't be there. There's the level 10s. They might turn back onto him. Okay, they do not. I like the idea was perfect. The idea was exactly what they needed to do, but we just needed to have everybody on the same page. Stukov was there for the silence for the first part, but unfortunately they weren't able to actually get it on the position they needed. And now there's a 2.5 level lead with 10s to basically level 8. So hopefully they can do a little bit of this cat and mouse. They didn't actually take the shrine. Oh no, this is not going to look good. The Joanna does have level 10s. Does end up using the Blessed Spear. It did not bounce to the Hanzo like they wanted, but Maiev is still here to get that tether. Bring him back a little bit. That actually tethered behind him. That was actually weird. I don't think it usually does that. Hanzo tried his best. I don't know if I saw agility. He's actually almost done with his quest, which is pretty hard to do. Yeah, they do. It takes a little bit to get used to when you're in the zoomed out mode. Like if I'm in here, or I think I can do like this and I can get really zoomed in. Wait, what's the button? Look, I like it. This is exactly what they need to do. They're going to get this gank on Malthael. Maybe nice little dodge there. Gets on the other, saw the Dahaka come this way. Gets on the other side of Greymane. And is able to just walk away. Pretty good. Get that move speed talent. This is what normal? No, this is zoomed in. But nobody wants to see that. So they're looking for this keep. I mean, they've put enough pressure on this bottom lane. There's still no level 10s available. Or regen. I mean, there's just been so much map control from Durotan's Couch. And this is a guaranteed keep. I mean, there's nothing that regen can do about this. They don't have Dahaka. Dahaka can only burrow into a bush. But still, 3-level lead. I mean, there's just... It's hard for regen to really... I mean, it sucks to say, but they really just have to play passive until they get level 10. I think that if they get level 10, they probably will still have to fight a talent tier down. They're going to have to fight 10v13 just to be able to get into the game. If they don't do something dramatic, it's just going to be a slow drain for Durotan's Couch to just kind of peel them dry and win the game. They do have level 10s now. This is the fight they want. They want Dahaka to burrow in here. Maiev is sitting here looking for the Warden's Cage. The big APOC hitting 3 members. Big Warden's Cage on the back line. She's taking a lot of damage, but then the Malthael's in the back line, getting all those dots on. They do kill up Maiev first. Diablo falls, getting some swipe in. Everybody's still fighting on this point. The Hanzo damage is coming out, especially with the Greymane. Let's see Greymane dive into it. There's 2 down with the Malfurion. And then but the counter kills, they're so low. I think they can come back and get this. Oh no, Stukov. Oh, the heal. Hanzo jump. Nice. They did come out victorious. I mean, they came out, what, 3 for 4 trade. So they know they can. I mean, I think that really came down to the fact that they were fighting in this choke, which is good and bad for both teams. You got Hanzo in the choke, you got Malthael in a choke, you got Jaina in a choke. I mean, that was a good win. We did see go for the throat. We have Soul Shield from Diablo. It's going to be needed. See anything out of the ordinary. Got the Unstoppable from the Malthael. So we're going to see a re-engage. They're positioning for it. Waiting for that minion wave to come around. They're deciding what they want to do. So they're definitely inviting. They know they're down here. They saw them walk down a little bit. Diablo's scouting it. Oh, but this is not going to be a fun time. They saw them come around with the sandwich. Getting rid of this for a little bit. Basically, everybody pressed their R button. Stukov heal Silence just putting it on top of himself, but put him basically in the middle of all of them and ends up going down. So that is a 3-man, probably pretty closely followed by if he gets out. Oh, he's out. Jaina was checking for it. Now they're like, wait, where'd that Diablo go? So 3 for nothing. Great sandwich by Durotan's couch to know that they figured that they were going to come down to this Merc camp and just collapsing on them. Diablo walks in there's like, nope. See you later, you % damage healer hero. I want to keep my stacks. Yeah, I would imagine Durotan's going to look to end it here. The dragon's getting later and later. Granted, it is only 9 minutes. The game has not been going on that long. They just got so far of a lead so early. Diablo's looking for this push onto the Jaina, but they're just too far out of position to get any type of follow-up from the rest of his team. Oh, a little bit of the counter synergy, but it ended up working. Got a 2-man stun. Diablo does go down, but he does have the respawn. Nice blessed shield from Joanna. Come in, trying to jump onto this Dahaka. The big silence. He's getting all these heals, going through 5 health bars. If he just walks away from this, oh my god, does he live? And he gets the stun. What a boss. I mean, granted, I know that he died, but like, what a boss to live that far and still get a stun. Malthael ends up going down. 2 for 1 so far. Warden's Cage is coming out. Greymane ends up dying because of the Warden's Cage. Just barely out of range of that silence. But, you know, Durotan just still has so much damage onto the core. Especially with 4 catapults and 2 giants. Pretty quick win for Durotan's couch. GG, guys. I mean, that was pretty close. Wait. So, congratulations to Durotan's couch. 2 very convincing wins on Infernal Shrines and Dragonshire. I mean, there's not much to say about it. I mean, Durotan's couch, they knew what to do. They knew their rotations. They knew when to invade. They had, I mean, there's only slight changes they could have done in different places to really maximize their advantages, but they played solid. I think a lot of teams should be looking at this to really, analyze Durotan's couch. I think they're going to look from their play on this game. I know they were both stomps, and it's harder to tell, but just their mechanics and their decision making, I think they're definitely going to be big contenders for Division C. Granted, this is also only the first week and probably their first game, so yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But unfortunately, that is going to be it for me today. I have a match tomorrow, my NGS match tomorrow. I don't think it's casted yet, so I'll probably just stream it on my own and just you can see our perspective. And then I have 2 casts on Thursday, so watch for me there. Hopefully you guys enjoy the cast and you'll keep tuning in. There's lots of great casters. There's a lot of games at NGS this season, so there's a lot to watch if you guys just want to see a lot of amateur games. But that's going to be it for me. So congratulations to Durotan's couch on the first win. And if you guys like to see it, like I said, I'm going to be casting a lot this season. I'm going to be playing a lot this season. So hit the follow, see when I go live, and follow me if you can. All right, thanks guys. Have a good night. Wait, that's not my hotkeys.